League now. We've seen Virus banned out and Vayne banned out, so obviously that looks like it might be, well not obviously, but it looks like it might be a target ban onto Major X if we saw pick up that pentakill. And it looks like they are target banning the AD carries, Varus ban and followed up by Twitch ban.
Oh, nice. Alright, so, Varus, Twitch, and Vaynes. A lot of the AD carries have just disappeared. I guess that's alright. As long as they can find something they do want to play. Maybe a Caitlyn would be really good against the things that have been banned out. I feel like whoever gets the Caitlyn is probably going to have lane dominance. There isn't too much of an answer for that hero now that the Varus has been banned out. I guess you can still run a Draven, but since the nerfs, he's definitely gone a decline in popularity. Seeing Thresh banned out as well, that's definitely a champion that you don't really want to have in lane against you. He's just so strong. Provides so much different sources of utility and crowd control, so. Just double checking, this is going to be a best of 3, right?
Yep, yeah it is. So
All
we're
right,
into game 1.
Is this the
Game 1 of the first
semi-finals?
semifinals. Right, it is, so get excited people.
This is the semi-finals for the winners bracket?
Yep, it is indeed.
And then the next match will be the grand finals of the winners bracket?
Yep, grand finals coming up next.
Alright.
Yep.
That's assuming that everyone has come through the losers bracket by that stage. Alright.
Yep, and we see Nami picked up first pick, so obviously they're pretty keen on that support. And we still see Blitz has been left open, so it's possibly the other team will be looking to pick it up.
Yeah, that could work out for them. It's a very hard lane though. Blitzcrank is a very temperamental support in my opinion. I don't feel like he offers too much for the lane, but late game, those hooks can be game changing, so it really depends on how confident they're feeling. And someone heard me speak that Caitlyn has been picked up. And there are very few AD carries that can now be picked that will be able to, hold on to the lane. Caitlyn does have that 650 range at level 1. So most other AD carries have about 550. So she still sits on about 100 extra range, and you can do what you call range leashing. I think that was termed by Double Lift, or maybe referenced by Double Lift. But it's a very easy way to play the lane. You just keep tapping them from max range and they can't reply. Especially against a hero like Ezreal, as long as you keep your creep wave between you and him, he can't land the mystic shots on you either, so... Ezreal's a good pick though. He'll be able to CS from far away and try to take as little poke as possible, but he's not going to be able to win trades by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep, he's definitely going to have to be on his game, the Ezreal with his Qs there, because that's really going to be what makes or breaks this lane.
Yeah.
So if he runs into sort of his normal attack range to farm, as you said, the Kate's just going to destroy him for it. We might be seeing a Lee Sin top, which is cool. I don't actually play much Lee Sin myself, but I always enjoy seeing Lee Sin being played. Just he's such a mobile champion, got a fun kid.
Yeah, he is. I think Lee Sin doesn't scale as well in the lane unless you do build off tank. I'm a big fan of him getting maybe like a Ravenous Hydra, but then building tanky. There's like a resurgence of like how Voivoi builds pretty much every single champion, so I think that would be a really good idea. It would be a very bad decision to build him Glass Cannon this game, I feel. But we'll see how it pans out.
Yep, and yeah, that Ravenous Hydra build is... I feel like it's really brought Lee back into the top lane just because it just allows you to blow people up. And I really hope he locks in that Udyr top. Udyr top, one of my sort of... I don't know, I'm not sure if I'd say his favorite, but I really like playing Udyr, so I hope Louis locks it in. Playing Ghost Ignite, which is really good. I really prefer Ghost over Flash on Udyr, just because you can go bare form plus that and just chase anyone down.
Yeah, you can. I think Udyr does very well against Lee Sin as well, both in Tiger stance and in Phoenix stance, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Udyr is one of the top counters to Lee Sin. Okay, we might see a switch up onto Ryze top perhaps.
Ryze recently went a nerf, and the nerf was pretty much directly aimed at reducing his top lane viability. And what they did is, on his 3 abilities, they removed 5 range, they added some base move speed, and they added some extra move speed steroid on his ultimate overload. I think it's overwhelming power or something like that. Basically what happens now is, if you're playing Ryze, you need to go in closer to trade, and that's really bad on top lane when you're so vulnerable to ganks as someone with no escapes. So Ryze cannot can no longer be played top lane safely, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I was having a talk to everyone's favorite caster, the People's Whisper, about this the other day. He seemed to think that Rise, it was a bit of a nerf, of course, on the range thing, but he thought that it wouldn't impact his top lane play. I mean, let me know your thoughts. He thought it wouldn't impact his top lane too much, because a lot of the time, if you're playing against melee heroes anyway, you can sort of, like, getting that bit of damage and losing a little bit of range. He seemed to think that you could just sort of, you know, still harass them, basically. I mean, if they come into farm, you're still going to be able to hit them with those Qs. I'm not quite sure what I think that is. But, yep, envy range, they did give him the MS speed increase on his ult, I think Scott did mention that.
Yep. So yeah, it's a bit more of a skill matchup. You won't see people just picking Rise and just face mashing anymore. I feel like there'll have to be a little bit more thought going into the pick than that. It'll have to be some secure counter pick. It'll have to be against a jungler that isn't going to put it politely, to rain on your parade. Because if they have a Jarvan, if they have a Nautilus, or if they have a Maokai even, a Maokai would be devastating. There'd be very little a Rise can do, in my opinion, in that top lane. And we have just had everyone pop out of the lobby, so we're getting back into this shortly. Maybe someone DC'd or a trade didn't go through, but the players know what the picks and bans are, and we're just going to see a full reset. So what's going to happen is they're going to pick exactly the same champs, exactly the same bans, and we'll get straight into that 3-minute delay, and the game will start pretty much as soon as possible.
We just had a question on the stream as a tournament in New Zealand. Well, we're sort of running it out of New Zealand, I suppose, but it's an Oceanic tournament run by Oceanic Gaming. Just, you know, hit us up on Facebook. It's on the stream, Facebook/Oceanic Gaming or OceanicGaming.net. Every like helps, just allows us to sort of build up a bigger base, keep running these tournaments, and yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. And yeah, we are based in Auckland, but we do provide tournament coverage for both New Zealand and Australia. So the Southeast Asian scene, or the Australasian scene, as it were. And if you guys are doing anything and you do want event handling or coverage, make sure you guys do hit us up, because we absolutely love helping people in the community out. So, you know, don't be shy. Get involved. There's heaps of contact information under the stream. If you're using the new Twitch.tv stream, it should all be under the stream in those nice boxes that they provide for you. So make sure you check it out. And this next lobby is being set up very quickly, so don't go anywhere, and we'll get into this next one shortly.
And also, during the finals, we are giving out RP and with RP cards. So stick around. You might win yourself a prize.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Get yourself a cool new skin. And
like
yeah, by the way, we see that just as a co-cast was saying before. Yeah, you know, if you're based in Australia and you're thinking of running a tournament, feel free to hit us up. Like the fact, like, don't be put off by the fact we're based in Auckland. We're happy to help out, sort of anyone really. So just let us know.
Yep, most definitely. With this new high-quality stream as well, we can assure you that everything is going to be done to, you know, the highest standard that we can possibly provide as well. So, good step in the right direction. All right, so I'm just checking out this bracket. A lot of games we've played so far. So the lower bracket hasn't gone through as far as I thought it would have at this point in time. Maybe it just hasn't been updated. I'm just going to refresh and see if it's gone any further. So I think we need to wait for the winner of the losers bracket before we play matches A and K. So that's quite a way away. So it'll be interesting to see if we just have forgotten to update the lower bracket, or if there have been delays there, because it's quite a lot of games still need to be played. At least three sets more.
Yeah, and just quick mention of the prizes for this tournament today. First prize is $125 cash plus $100 RP and the Triumphant Rise skins. Second prize is $75 plus $75 RP. Third prize is $50 cash plus $50 RP. And fourth prize is $25 RP.
Yep. And all the RP and pricing comes from Glorious Riot Pricing. They're really good at sponsoring events like this. If you have 8 and more teams, which we do with 37, they'll back up your tournament if you give them a month's notice, and they'll hook you up with some mad pricing like that. So, big props to Riot for, you know, organizing that for us as well.
Have you got the client going in the background, Scott? You can just hear all noises.
Nope, that's not me.
Oh,
Alright, and we are back into the lobby.
And we see a few troll bands coming out here from the other team.
And they're spelling out Ken.
Oh, I see. That's pretty
Not
cool.
bad. All right, and we are going to see identical picks, not identical bans because they are just trolling, but that's okay. So they're going to go through and pick the same champions, and we get straight into this 3 minutes delay. And you get to witness fantastic overlays for champion select, which I think is pretty goddamn cool myself. And that was done by OCG Black Templar, so big props to him, and big props to OCG Omiros for being our stream engineer for this event. Alright, and as soon as this cog... actually, I don't think it was a cog more, was it? It was a Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Alright, so as soon as the Caitlyn has been locked in, we're getting into the 3 minute delay.
So it looks like Blue Caster Minion just trying to troll us a little bit here.
Just a little bit, yeah.
We don't mind. As long as it doesn't lock in, then we'll be a bit unhappy because we'll start out again. Shout out to Trollin. Alright, we'll give a shout out to Trollin. And yeah, we just had a question about future Oceanic Gaming tournaments. We put all the information up on our Facebook page and on the website. So if you're, just give us a like on Facebook.com/Oceanic Gaming, and we'll keep you up to date with all the news. Alright guys, so we're just about to jump into the game here. Just waiting on the delay. So what are you guys' predictions? Who do you think is going to win this game? Or if you got, I don't know, a particular favourite player who you think is going to win their matchup, just let us know. See, personally for the team comp, I don't know, it should be interesting. Malphite versus Lee Sin. I'd have to think Malphite would be a little bit stronger in that lane, particularly because once he builds a bit of armor, he can just sort of negate a lot of Lee's early damage. But we'll have to see how all that plays out. LeBlanc versus Zed should be fun to watch. Bot lane, the bot lane, that Kate Jana is a very strong bot lane versus Nami. Major on Ez there, who got that pentakill with Vayne last game. We're going to have to see him play pretty well with his Qs in order to keep up. I think I've lost my co-caster briefly, but he'll be back very shortly.
There we go. Sorry, I had muted my mic. So I'm liking the picks that are coming out. I'm liking that the only form of global presence is going to be this Malphite pick. So that's going to be interesting to see if that does turn the tides of war. LeBlanc versus Zed in the mid lane is so volatile. Basically, if Zed hits level 6 first and gets his ultimate off on LeBlanc, LeBlanc is dead, and LeBlanc is going to have a hard time in lane. However, if LeBlanc hits level 6 first, she's going to be able to combo out Zed and probably blow him up. So it's extremely volatile. Like an explosive lane, we're gonna see lots of action, and it's gonna be so interesting to see who takes it away. Not a lane that I'm used to seeing. I've gotta be honest.
Yeah, as far as team fights go, we're not really seeing any sort of big, like Wombo combo style teams here. They do have the Jarvan and Malphite, of course, so and that is a potential big engage, but not like when we saw the other game of that Lux, Jarvan, Malphite team. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. So I think the Nami wave into Malphite ult into Jarvan ult, that is quite a bit of team fighting damage, especially if you combo that with Israel's True Shot Barrage. So I'm liking the team fight coming out from SC. However, RRIV or RR4 have a lot of single target DPS in the form of Caitlyn, Lee Sin, and LeBlanc. And they have a lot of single target lockdown with Nautilus, so they have a very cool team to pick people off. So I'm expecting to see an early Oracles and lots of wards coming out from RR4, and that would secure them the single fights and skirmishes that they need to win this game. However, SC are looking to team fight as often as humanly possible, and probably split push with Zed because they don't. No one on R4 really has an answer to stop Zed from split pushing in a 1v1 scenario.
Yeah, and we've had a comment on the stream there that it's a good point that Janna ult's very strong against that team in particular as well, because if the Jarvan jumps in along with the Malphite, the Janna can just sort of save his team by ulting away and just running off.
Yeah, fire that monsoon and just walk away. Yeah, Janna's so good at disengaging. However, Malphite is going to get that unstoppable force off no matter what happens. So It'll be interesting to see if Caitlyn can survive that initial combo. It'll be harder if Malphite is building ability power as well, because he'll bring some damage to the table. So
Yeah, it should be a good game. Looking forward to it.
yeah, definitely. So I don't know if they'll do anything at level 1. Both teams have very strange team comps for a level 1 team fight. I think Nami Bubble and Nautilus CC is pretty good. So if they invade, there's always potential for a kill, but I wouldn't say that one team has a clear advantage over one another in the team fight.
Yeah, but I think once again it looks like a relatively even matchup, but I am a little bit concerned for that Lee up against that Malphite in the top lane. I mean, unless he can get a lot of damage in early, I think he might struggle once that Malphite picks up his first armor item, something like a Glacial Shroud perhaps, or Warden's Mail, or like just a straight Sunfire Cape.
Oh, you feel like the Malphite's going to have a hard time and not the Lee Sin?
No, I feel like Lee Sin's going to have a very hard time unless he can get a lot of damage in like really early. Right, I feel like
I
he
guess
kind of...
that makes sense, yeah.
Because he feels like he needs to pick up a kill. I suppose either way, like Lee Sin, once he builds a little bit of lifesteal, has a lot of sustain in lane these days, so he might just look to sit there and, I don't know, pick up heaps of CS, but as you said, he does drop off a little bit late game.
Yeah, he does. I think Lee Sin could build like a Ravenous Hydra and just try a wave clear, like keep on wave clearing, because Malphite has to spend so much mana, and Lee Sin can just like force him out of lane because he has energy rather, so I think that might be a way to approach the lane.
3 skins to 0 on blue team, so...
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm probably going to favour them at the moment. That TPA is, I quite like that, and we got the Koi Nami again, one of our favourites.
And then the Imec Volcano's Jarvan, so that's a very cool skin. Right, I'm loving the overlay as well. It's much nicer than the normal loading screen. Got some, slight backgrounds and visuals and stuff. It's good stuff.
It's cool. So, suppose if we have a quick look at the summoner spells here, I think reasonably standard all around. Apart from LeBlanc's actually picked up barrier against that Zed, so that could be interesting to see. I mean, perhaps he wants to try bait him into a tower dive, then just barrier jump away.
You see, that could work, apart from the fact that LeBlanc has like no HP pool to speak of. So the barrier might work early game, but it's definitely not going to work late game. I think Zed, as soon as he picks up some damage items, he'll finish that Blade of the Rune King, and it'll be all over for LeBlanc. Unless you can snowball so hard from lane. It really is like the most volatile of matchups. So,
alright, we're into the game now. All the teams picking up the items pretty quickly. Looks like Kate's just heading straight down towards bot lane, or perhaps towards that blue buff to help him out. And looking at blue team here are grouping up, so we might see them go for a potential invade as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Nautilus is one of those heroes that if you can take his blue buff away, he does struggle like quite a lot in the jungle. And you can say the same for a few, but particular heroes like Nautilus, Amumu, Fiddlesticks. If you take away their blue, it's very, very tough.
Yeah, it is. Mana reliant junglers, it's just taking blue buff denies them, a level worth of experience, as well as that good clear time that they can get with cooldown reduction and the mana. So
yeah, it looks like they might just be looking to protect their own blue buff here.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And yeah, not too much going on at the moment. Lee Sin just camping up in that top lane. He's probably hoping Malphite will help up with blue and run up through lane, so he can just get that Q off, get a little bit of damage before the lane starts.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it looks like Jarvan's starting maybe at a blue buff. It would be much nicer to start at red buff and get that smiteless from his support and AD carry.
Yeah, I think quite often you see players who are sort of a bit too married to their blue buff. They feel like they have to start at the blue, whereas I know I agree with you there. That it would have been a bit better for him to start at that red, perhaps go for an early gank on that bot lane.
Yeah, the general strategy at the moment is just like start at the buff your AD carry and support is closest to, like transition to your next buff, and then you can just smite that one away, so it's not going to be very hard. And then you can just gank the lane closest to you, so it'd be red to blue buff to top if you're on blue side, or blue buff to red buff to top if you're on red side. So,
and that's quite cool actually. I just saw that LeBlanc, the way he leashed that blue there is he leveled up his jump and he jumped over, then jumped back to save himself a bit of time.
Nice.
All right, so and yeah, who do you like? Just a question for our viewers out there: who do you guys think is going to get first for this game? I don't know. It's in my opinion, I'm leaning towards. I'm gonna make the big call and say Nautilus. Nautilus is gonna take that red buff, head up towards Mouth, drop first blood.
All right. I won't take you for another $10, but I'll play the devil's advocate. I'll say Jarvan will get the first blood.
All right, we'll see how this goes. And Jarvan's actually, they seem to be reasonably close in the jungle. I think Nautilus got to his red a little bit quicker there. And Rockhard Hero reckons it's J4, so he's with you there.
Nice. Got a supporter. This is new. Surely it's J4. I hope so too, man.
Yep, and got to remember OCG Wait for It is our resident Diamond 2 player here, so he's got the big calls. And Nautilus sort of heading up towards that top. No pressure. Heading up towards that top lane, and now it just seems to be walking down towards mid. I have a feeling he's gonna walk right over that ward though. And
yeah, it looks like he is. Zed also so hard to lock down. Like Living Shadow is just a great ability for being able to juke out of pretty much everything. As long as you just don't use your shadow to help you get your CS, it's gonna be so good. And actually, Jarvan's coming in here. Nautilus has.
Oh, there we go.
He's gonna flash.
Go Nautilus.
Is red buff gonna be enough? HP is sticking away, and Jarvan's going down as well. They're both gonna walk away. Better trade for the red team though. So your Naut was looking good there.
Yes, a little bit of a biased shoutcast for a second there. I wanted not to get that first blood, but looks like they're both just gonna back out. And I suppose we have a look down at the spot lane here. That Caitlyn, it seems to be fairly even. He's got about a 4 CS lead. They've both gone for that Doran's Blade starting item.
Yeah.
So I suppose Ez is probably going to be happy with that if he can just sort of keep up quite well. We see Janna just getting a little bit of harass in there.
So this is a very static lane in the top lane at the moment. Malphite is going out of mana, and as predicted, Lee Sin not going out of mana, funnily enough.
And he's got a massive CS lead to begin with. I suppose that's the thing, like, despite the fact that Lee might not scale as well as some heroes, I mean, if you farm up massively, you can get that Hydra, get a few other items, and he's still a real threat to deal with.
Yeah,
See a bit of action going.
Yeah.
Bit of action going on bot lane here. Alright. Seems to just be chilling out. Nautilus recalling back to base after clearing his jungle.
And Ward 3 is going down in that tribe rush. They both pick up the pink wards. Deny each other that vision. Looks like Nami went back to put a green ward down.
Do you know if you can shield wards?
No, you can't, unfortunately. That'd be really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be cool. And
LeBlanc
Lee's actually got done.
Yep. Sorry, yeah. LeBlanc getting some nice harass down on Zed in the mid lane, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I really favor Zed in this matchup. I feel like he's just going to get to the point where he can do more damage than LeBlanc can handle. And LeBlanc isn't going to get to that point where she can do more damage than Zed can handle very quickly. Lots of damage going down in the mid lane, though. Jarvan actually misses his EQ combo. Caitlyn has flashed away, and Nautilus does pick up first blood. I'm glad I didn't bet against you again.
That was so close, though. That was very very close to picking up that Caitlyn, but they might pick up this Ez as well. It's just barrier down, and I think Ez is not long for this world. Oh, nice arcane shit. Oh, the Jarvan picks it up.
For the auto attack kill, though. So 1 for 2 in favor of the red team. Well played.
A little bit Oh, that was so close to killing that Kate. A little bit of a shame that Janna got that kill, but it was one of the situations where if she didn't get it, then no one would have. And yeah, Kate being forced to burn her barrier there in a very, very close fight. I thought she was going to go down to that Jarvan, but just times that barrier perfectly.
Yeah, Jarvan actually messed up his Demacian standard into Dragon Strike combo, so he didn't dash across the wall. He had to flash across, and that's not quite as effective, so...
that's probably what did it for him there. Once again, we got Roguefire with the 100% first blood calls. Woohoo.
Those statistics, man. Alright, so Malphite's taking a lot of pain in this top lane. I think if he lands a nice resonating strike into Dragon Kick, I think it might be called Dragon's Rage, actually. Yeah, it is Dragon's Rage. And
we see Nord coming out for a... Oh no, Nord was coming out for a gank, but then wandered off.
Oh yeah. LeBlanc is 6, Zed is 6 as well. I still feel like Zed could just cast his ultimate on LeBlanc and watch it just disappear. So let's see if he manages to do that. He's getting a Hex Trigger first item, it looks like, and I'd recommend that as well. A strong item against LeBlanc. That first spell shield will really help him out with LeBlanc's combo, so...
And Rockhard Harris making the point that Nami's landing a lot of bubbles. That's true. Nami's done quite well this game, and we've seen quite a lot of Nami in this tournament.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I don't know, just having a read of the comments here. Not too much else going on.
Nah, Malphite might actually be being gifted this blue buff. I think it'll be really good on the Malphite, and it's nice of the jungler to not like take this one away. I think Malphite will also get 6 off this blue buff, so...
I think that's a strong play as well, because that'll just really allow him to get right back into this lane. He gets caught up a little bit. He's only 17 CS behind. Alright, we're going to see him buy and possibly teleport back to lane. We'll see what he does. I mean, the creeps are pushed a bit, so he might just decide to run back there and save that TP for a gank onto bot or something. We do see Zed actually roaming bot here, and he's actually dropped his ult. There's a shield up on the Janna, on the Kate, but that's not going to do nearly enough damage.
No, it's not. I think he should have gone the LeBlanc in the mid lane, but yeah, bad luck.
And we do see Malphite's picked up that chain vest there, so with that plus his blue buff that Jarvan was kind enough to gift to him, I think he should have a lot better time in top lane.
Yeah, most definitely.
And as I said before the game started, I do think that, actually we see a and a lot of going on to that Jarvan. I think he's just going to get dropped. He is. Very nice by Nautilus there, just reacting to the situation. Nice dredge line as well.
Nice dredge line, yeah. And double kill going to the Nautilus. Well played. And Zed didn't have his ultimate, LeBlanc did, and that was all the difference. Jarvan just disappeared, really.
Yeah, Jarvan just got absolutely crushed there. There was I was a little bit of that damage there. But there again, we see the power of that Naut's passive. Just walks in, hits him once, locks him down, and that's all that LeBlanc needed. Just dropped all his damage.
And Malphite's having an easier time in this top lane with that blue buff.
He
He's
might
actually
actually
going
be able to
on the Lee Sin, yeah. Lee Sin is backing up, gets a nice kickoff, goes back in, and unfortunately, Malphite is just that much tankier with that chain vest. Really helped him out there, and he picked up the kill.
Bit of a weird play. Like, he might have been thinking he could land that Q, drop Ignite, and W out again with his to a creep, but it seemed a little bit of a strange play there, because his ult was down. So, and that's, I mean, Lee Sin, he's going to be pretty mad at himself for doing that, because he did actually pick up that Brutalize before Tiamat. I was wrong on that score, but he'll be pretty upset at himself for doing that, because that was lane he had well under control. He had a big CS lead, and then he just gave up a kill. It's kind of erased 10 minutes worth of lane dominance.
And Malphite hasn't quite caught up to his CS yet, but the gold difference isn't too different between them. I'm just gonna read it out for you in a sec.
Yep, we'll just have a quick look at the gold. For
28 to
the
28, so they're definitely even after all that. So well played by Malphite for, bringing it back to that degree.
Definitely, and they've actually gone for a lane swap here, which is interesting for me. Oh, nice Q from the Lee Sin there. Is he going to go for this kill? No. I'm not
He did have
quite
Ignite,
sure.
he could have.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Oh, that one's going to go down to the Naut ult, which he got off just in time. So I believe, yeah, Malphite did. And to me, that's a very, very strange play from Blue Team there. Like, they switched it up and sent Zed top and Malphite mid, which I'm not. What do you think about that? It seemed that Malphite was just like getting back into lane. He had some decent items. Then they send a mid, he dies, and they send Zed top and he dies to Lee. We saw Nautilus coming off a gank on bot.
Didn't work out for them, and it looks like Israel is going to go down here. Nautilus just so tanky, just tanking the turret. Caitlyn could have been hurting the... Oh, Malphite is actually teleporting down. Does have his ultimate, let's see what happens. Does have Unstoppable Force up, hasn't used it just yet. Is he going to use it?
Oh, waiting for the... I think he might have saved
as well. Alright, so he's going to get the shutdown.
Yeah, I felt that he was like... He was waiting for the perfect situation, but I felt like he waited just a little bit too long. Got a little bit greedy, thinking he could get 2 or 3 of them, and ended up just getting the support. And I'm pretty sure they're going to lose bot turret off the back of that as well.
Yeah, he waited too long with his ultimate. And it's something he can do differently next time.
Yeah, because I definitely understand, like, you want to hold out and use your ult at the perfect time, but just a little bit greedy there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't understand why that Malphite, who built some armor, had his blue buff, decided to go mid. It's a real momentum change. And Zed's in a lot of trouble.
Here, yeah. Nice leash landed over the LeBlanc, and the kick and the leash pick up the kill.
Yep. And that was just a little bit of a sloppy play, really. He shouldn't have been there. So I think he used his Living Shadow a bit too early as well. And we see red team picking up Dragon as well. They didn't actually get that bot turret in the end, but they should be able to get this Dragon essentially
Yeah, most
uncontested.
definitely.
Actually,
And Jana gets caught
actually,
out
now
by
he's gonna-
bubble, but
And now he chucks the ward down over the wall, actually, so we'll have to see if they're
Think
going to make...
true
And Jarvan's actually heading down towards it, so if he can get there in time, he might try and smite steal.
no, good stuff.
And
Oh, no.
not fixed that fine.
Let's go down.
I mean, it does try and steal it with that True Shot Barrage, but it's just a little bit too slow.
Right, pulse has gone down. Hopefully everything is gonna get fixed now.
Alright, and we've had a pause and an unpause. And, yeah, so they just kept going back to Julian top lane here. I think Lee Sin's probably just going to wait this out and then just farm up off that creep wave, get all his HP back. And the Malphite ult is off cooldown, so went for the ult and Lee Sin shields away, so very nice play from him there. And I think he may look to re-engage in this now, that Mouse out of mana. Yeah,
Ignite does go down, Kick goes down, and Ignite's gonna pick up the kill. Well played.
So it seemed like Lee was just baiting it out there the whole time, so very nice play from him there. He sort of predicted that ult, shielded off to a creep, and was fine. And now just going back to base and he's picked up that kill.
Yeah, and I called
Right,
this mid lane almost completely wrong. LeBlanc doing really well against this Zed. Sitting on 3-0 and 3, and it almost has a Rabadons as well.
And LeBlanc's actually skipped boots, just going straight for that death cap. That's double doors.
Yes, pretty brave. I guess she has a lot of mobility with that distortion, so...
You see the damage coming up from that Kate already, it's insane with that Giant Shield.
Yeah, they banned out the right 80 carries to play Caitlyn, in my opinion, and it's definitely worked out for them.
And they've picked up that turret now. And that Kate has actually opened up a 40 CS lead, so well on him. And going to pick up this kill, possibly.
Oh, nice
quite.
disengage. Well played
Very
by
nice
the
there from-
Nami. Yeah, definitely.
And Jarvan once again giving that blue buff to the Malphite just to help him out a bit more. He does have that Sunfire Cape now, so I do think he'll find this lane a little bit easier with the blue buff and the Sunfire Cape. So Jarvan could actually be rotating up for a gank, and Lee is recalling, it seems. Nope, he's just chilling.
Nautilus ganking Zed in the mid lane. LeBlanc burst pretty much one-shots the Zed, and he does go down with one rotation of abilities.
And he has actually picked up a 15-minute death cap, and he's 4-0-3, so LeBlanc's going to be an absolute beast.
Yeah, sitting on 250 ability power. Not much spell penetration just yet, but that's probably going to be our next step.
Yep. Possibly even a Deathfire Grass, if she goes sort of Sorcerer who's Deathfire. I don't play a whole lot of LeBlanc, so I'm not quite sure, but
I think she might just get Sorcerer's Boots and Void Staff, yeah, and that'd be the good builds for huge amounts of ability power and enough magic penetration to like get through anyone builds against her.
And yep, Brian DJ just asking, will there be more of this type of tournament? Definitely. We had a real good response to this tournament, so we'll certainly be looking to hold sort of a similar style in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, we do run community events every Thursday with the People's Whisper shoutcasting. So there's always prizes for that for the team that wins, $10 RP each. So if you want to get involved, have some fun, just remember to sign up, like us on Facebook, and you'll get all the information you need.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. I'll paste the link for our Facebook into chat, so make sure you have liked the page.
I predict when his next tournament.
Nami's actually getting caught out, taking quite a lot of damage. Goes down with Dragon's Rage as well. Zed actually going on to the Lee Sin, gets a nice burst off, but it's not enough. Lee Sin quite
a nice teleport from Malphite there. Very nice teleport from Malphite into that brush.
On Caitlyn, yeah.
And that Lee's quite low, but Lee's such a mobile champion, he's going to get away. And nice flash flagpole by the Jarvan there. They might be able to pick up the skill. Oh, nice, very nice one soon. He's just going to walk away. True shot barrage coming out. Can he get one more Q off? Oh, I think you might have hit the wrong person there. So I can't tell you for sure when the next tournament's. Oh, the fight's still going on. Actually, we've had a re-engage here, and Lee Sin goes down. A very confident play from him there. Nautilus picks up a double kill, and it looks like they might be able to pick up this Malphite as well. And it looks like that LeBlanc's just going to clean up.
Wow,
Oh,
they're just
where is he?
recalling.
Yep, and we're seeing some dukes going down here, which is quite funny.
Louis making
And
the plays.
things actually, they're trying to feed this kill to LeBlanc, but he's out of mana. Oh, feeding to the Cade, okay.
Okay.
So some good stuff there. For a team, having a little bit of fun, but it's tactical at the same time. I suppose you want to get some kills in your AD carry. And so I was just going to say that, I can't tell you for sure when the next tournament is, but I'm just, if you like our Facebook page, as I said before, all the information always goes up there, all our new tournaments. So we'll definitely try and keep you in the loop. And yes, SD Sage, we do need that Twitch partnership, but we're really relying on you guys there. Just tell all your friends to, jump on our stream. We're doing our best. The more players we get, the faster we can sort that out. Unfortunately, it's out of our hands at the moment, but that's definitely something we're working towards. Yeah, we stream in high quality at the moment because, like a lot of people, computers can handle it, and it does look so much nicer and so much crisper than just that 480. And once you go high Q, it's hard to go back.
It is hard to go back, yeah.
And I'm being told to expect some trolling with this big lead, but I don't know. That last play wasn't so much trolling as they wanted to give that kill to... I mean, it's always good to spread the kills around. I mean, getting kills on Nort, it's not bad, but it's not ideal either.
Alright, so it looks like
It's
they're sieging mid-turret down. They're probably going to be able to get it as well. They are actually rotating around to Dragon, so it looks like the red team are going to continue this lead that they have. About 10,000 gold, 11,000 gold now, and pick up this Dragon as well.
Yeah, and yeah, we're pretty sure we're not lagging on our end. I think it might just be the internet on your end there, sorry, because we're not dropping any frames watching it here. And they do pick up that Dragon. There is tries to steal it once more, but doesn't quite work out. I've been told to look at Kate's build, and Kate has actually picked up a Sword of the Occult, so... Alright, that's a little bit trolling, like, you don't see that too commonly in competitive play, but... Hey.
Nah, she has two
like
stacks on it as well, so...
I like the confidence there, I like the confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And Zed actually went in with his Living Shadow and is being punished for it by LeBlanc. Going down to solo HP, I think actually his Hex Drink has saved his life there, so...
Yep, and we've seen Lee actually, as we thought before the game, he's got that Hydra and he's actually picked up, he's got 172 CS, so it's just Kate that's ahead of him. So he's doing quite well there. He's looking to steal away this blue buff or probably feed it to LeBlanc, but taken away for blue team. And nicely done.
As well as stealing blue buff, they're actually stealing red buff away. The Caitlyn picks that one up. So, ouch.
Really nicely done. And just a little cool play there. The LeBlanc ran off and then ran back so the Lee could shield to him. And we just had a question in the stream about 1080p. We do have the potential to have 1080, but at the moment we don't think sort of New Zealand internet is up to...
Yeah, honestly, like, it's...
I mean, we could stream it, but you guys will probably have like quite a few lag issues, so we figured we'd stick with 720 for now.
Yeah,
like, if it changed...
If you're having trouble with 720p, raising it to 1080p, while like some people will be able to watch it, the majority won't. So it's better to have it on 720p at the moment, and the people that do have, reasonably good internet in New Zealand will be able to watch it to the highest quality, which is what we're aiming for. So yeah, Mortondshort has written it out for you guys if you want a, concise reading of that.
Yep, so I mean, we're relying on you guys, our fans, and the community to, keep jumping on Twitch, get us those views, and we'll do our best to... You know, I've just been told by the Aria Pirate as well, like, you guys, you know, if 720 is lagging, might be time to look at a new internet connection. Like, we've upgraded our net over at our ends, so you guys got to come to the party to help us out a bit here.
Yeah. Upgrade. Complaining about us getting better. Not good, man. Not good.
And
No,
a nice little a nice little decent jump over the wall to the Janna there. Just it's nice to see good teamwork like that. I mean, not particularly massive play, but just the small things. And the Kate's actually picked up a Ravenous Hydra, so yeah, that's a little bit interesting.
That's pretty troll.
Yeah.
So much damage coming out. Zed has actually gone into the Caitlyn. Lee Sin went back to help him though, and Caitlyn's gonna pick up another couple of stacks. She's actually up to 7 stacks at the moment, so a lot of AD on that Caitlyn. And it looks like the red team are just gonna snowball this into victory. They actually get the shutdown. LeBlanc going low as well. LeBlanc does barrier out, gets the safeguard shield as well. Looks like she might be able to get away, in fact. Malphite coming for her. Gets the shutdown there as well. He's got about 1,000 golden shutdowns. He's pretty tanky, but it looks like he might go down to the 3 members that are left from the red team. And yeah, Nautilus is going to be able to... Yeah, kill does go to Lee Sin.
So, yeah, once again we see red team just win that fight. It looks like they've got such a significant goal. It's going to be very, very tough for the blue team. We're not going to count them out just yet, though. We've always liked to see a good comeback, but it's definitely an uphill battle at this point for them.
Yeah, it really is. So hopefully they can, you know, bring it back and get it done.
And we see Kate here buying a few troll items, but you know, up to him, having a little bit of fun, I suppose. I do quite like to see those sort of occults and the soul stealers coming out.
Yeah, and we've got people DCing and reconnecting. Hopefully this is going to be fixed shortly.
Yeah, but
it's always hard when... Yeah, same thing that happened before. Yep. It was indeed. So I'm just checking the brackets while we have some downtime, and it looks like the lower bracket is progressing quite nicely, which is always good.
Actually, we're just back in now.
Alright, we are back. And make sure we jump to live, because there's always some issues when there are pauses. Alright. And I'm back to live as well.
Yeah, and we may see red team here just look to clear out Baron, take it in the game.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the way.
It seems at this point that it's really just up to them when they want to go push down an inhib, because they're just so far ahead right now. We're just gonna have a quick look at the gold here, and we see that Lee Sin actually has close to 2,000 gold more than Malphite, even though Malphite has those 6 kills. I suppose he's got 5 kills too. It's quite a significant gold lead. That LeBlanc's got over 3,500 gold more than that Zed, so that's just crazy amounts there. The Caitlyn's over 3,000 gold ahead of the other 80 carry. That is there. So basically just red team is winning across the board here.
Yeah, when Caitlyn died, she actually lost quite a few stacks on that sort of vehicle, so she's sitting on 5 now. I think she was about 10 before she did die, so it's good for the blue team that she hasn't got that fully stacked sort of vehicle still, because it really offers a lot of attack damage after you get, you know, 10 or 11 stacks on it.
Yep. So like we could possibly see blue team pull something off here. I mean, that Kate build, you know, not the most efficient use of gold, if we can put it that way. And I suppose that's only the real troll build on their team. And that LeBlanc's still 518, just absolutely crushing people.
Yeah, it is.
So we see red team are actually grouping up now to see if they can make something happen. And just as I say that, they start recalling.
That's alright. We'll be fine. It looks like they are going to be able to siege successfully though. Jarvan goes in to do some knock-up damage, but it's not really enough at this point. They really are fighting like an uphill battle now. It's going to be very hard for them to bring this game back. And I feel like red team could be doing a lot more with their advantage, but they're kind of not really doing it.
Yep, and once again, they're stealing out these buffs. So they're just giving blue team nothing to work with, really. Actually, Malphite might be able to pick up something blue. There we go.
That'd be
and
nice.
Take away Drake.
Mana regen, and Baron is still an objective on the map, and they're past the point where they have enough AD to do it, so they can do a very quick Baron if that's what they want.
Yep, and we're just sort of at a lull in the game at the moment here, and teams just sort of picking up buffs, picking up objectives, and
Yeah, yeah,
just had
most
a question.
definitely.
Just had a quick question about the prizes. The prizes are per team, not per person.
Yeah, per team. So everything will be divided by 5. Well, considering that the team captain gets the prizes, hopefully he's gonna give everyone a fair share. He could just steal
Yep.
everything. I don't know.
Because yeah, like, do keep in mind that it is a free tournament, so we've done our best with the prizes.
All right, so blue team are just like letting, sorry, red team are just letting the blue team creep back up in gold. They could see us to the point where they come back into the game, but they are so far behind at the moment. I don't think it's very likely. The
Yeah,
hard
and
champions to come back from as well. Like a really fed LeBlanc is something very hard to deal with.
definitely. And just remember, guys, we are doing those IP giveaways during the grand finals, so make sure you stick around and tell your friends.
Yeah.
And we see J4 heading back to base. I think this could be the push we've just been waiting for. Just going to siege up on this turret.
Yep, the turret does go down. It looks like the inhibitor's going to go down as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they just let this one go and they picked up a turret on the side, Malphite split push. Unfortunately, Ezreal is taking so much damage. Nami Wave does come out, but Jarvan is going to go down to the huge LeBlanc combo. Really hurts. Malphite is still split pushing in the bot lane. He does have his teleport if he wants to come back, but he hasn't used it just yet. And it looks like the red team are just going for the victory. Malphite is recalling now.
Yep.
Let's
I
see
think
if
it's
he
a little bit
can
too late.
come back and do anything. Yeah, it is. I think he is.
I almost think. Yeah, it seemed like he probably. That's not too bad at all. He seemed to. I think his logic there might have been that they couldn't really fight that, so he just wanted to see how far he could get. But I do think he left that teleport a bit long, the recall.
Yeah.
And that looks like that's going to be game over. And Kate could just
Yeah.
attack Nexus here, but he seems to want to go for the Malphite.
Malphite could actually win this 1v1, I think.
And we see
Malphite-
Not just trolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep, and Not wasn't, he didn't feel like helping out as a teammate there. And he went for the sneaky teleport. I quite like that play. He tried to teleport behind the Kate and get him, but unfortunately got cancelled by the silence, so... I don't know, I got so much respect to the Malphite. And that game is over.
Yeah. GG's well played, and we'll take a small break while we get this lobby set up and get into the next one.
Yep, player of the game there, I'm going to give to that Nautilus. I really enjoyed his play there. So, well, actually, it's possibly not on LeBlanc. In fact, I'm going to have to go with LeBlanc. Sorry, Not. But today, we're going with... Actually, I've lost your name, sorry. But LeBlanc...
William MK1.
William MK1, you get the Rogue 5 Player of the Game award. Take that to the bank.
Nice.
Put it there.
Alright guys, and small break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be back soon.